Schools of Jurisprudence. Part 1. Welcome back. In our first module, we laid the foundation for understanding jurisprudence as the philosophical and theoretical study of law. Now, we move forward to explore the major schools of jurisprudence, different perspectives on the nature and function of law. In this module, we'll focus on the analytical or positivist school, the historical school, and the natural law school. The analytical or positivist school. Law as it is. The analytical or positivist school focuses on law as it is, pogitum, laid down, rather than on what it ought to be, which is the concern of natural law theories. Positivists aim to analyze legal systems and concepts without reference to morality, ethics, or social context, though later sociological positivists would start bridging this gap. Key thinkers of the analytical or positivist school. John Austin, 1790–1859. The command theory. We met John Austin in our previous module. His central idea is the command theory of law. For Austin, law is a command issued by a sovereign, a person or body habitually obeyed by others but who obeys no one else, and this command is backed by the threat of sanctions. Let's break this down. Command. Law is a direct order, not a suggestion or advice. Sovereign. The highest authority within a society, such as a monarch or a parliament. Duty. A command creates a duty to obey. Sanction. The threat of punishment ensures compliance. Austin stressed a strict separation between law and morality. A law remains valid if it meets these criteria, regardless of whether it is morally good or bad. However, he did not claim that immoral laws must be obeyed, only that their validity as law is separate from their moral value. Jeremy Bentham, 1748–1832. Utility and Legal Reform. Jeremy Bentham, another major positivist, also emphasized positive law but introduced the principle of utility. For Bentham, law should promote the greatest happiness for the greatest number. While Austin focused on the structure of law, Bentham looked at its consequences. He distinguished between describing what law is, expositorial jurisprudence, and prescribing what it ought to be, censorial jurisprudence, guided by the principle of utility. Bentham advocated for codification, organizing laws into clear, systematic codes, believing it would make the law more understandable and better aligned with the goal of maximizing social happiness. His ideas greatly influenced legal reforms worldwide. The historical school. Law from the roots of society. Unlike the positivists, the historical school sees law as growing organically from a society's customs, traditions, and beliefs. Law, they argued, evolves over time, shaped by the spirit and character of the people. Key thinkers of the historical school. Frederick Carl von Savigny, 1779–1861. Savigny, founder of the historical school, believed law emerges naturally from the Volksgeist, the spirit of the people. Law begins as customary practices arising from daily life, not through deliberate legislation. Savigny argued that law must reflect a nation's unique culture and history. Imposing abstract or foreign legal principles, he warned, could damage the organic development of a legal system. He was particularly cautious about rapid reforms that ignored this natural growth. Sir Henry Manet, 1822–1888. Henry Manet also emphasized legal evolution. In his famous work Ancient Law, he proposed that societies progress from being status-based, where legal rights depend on birth or social position, to contract-based, where individuals create their legal relations voluntarily. Manet saw this shift toward individual freedom and contracts as a major sign of social advancement. The Natural Law School. The Natural Law School holds that a higher, universal law based on morality, reason, or divine order exists. Positive laws are valid only if they align with this higher law. If they don't, they can be considered unjust and may lose their claim to true legal authority. Key thinkers of the Natural Law School. Cicero, 106–43 BCE. Universal reason. Cicero, the Roman philosopher and statesman, argued that true law is right reason in harmony with nature, universal, unchanging, and everlasting. Human laws must align with this natural reason, otherwise, they are not true laws and lack moral authority. Thomas Aquinas, 1225–1274. Divine and Natural Law. Aquinas integrated Aristotle's philosophy with Christian theology. He described a hierarchy of laws. Eternal law, God's ultimate plan for the universe. Divine law, God's revelations in Scripture. Natural law, moral principles accessible through human reason. Human law, laws made by human authorities. For Aquinas, human laws should flow from natural law. If a human law violates natural law, it is a perversion of law and lacks true legitimacy. Hugo Grotius, 1583–1645. Natural law without divine authority. Grotius advanced the idea that natural law would exist even if God did not. He secularized natural law, grounding it in human reason and sociability. His work laid important foundations for international law, stressing principles like the sanctity of treaties, the freedom of the seas, and just conduct in warfare, all rooted in universal human nature.